Oh, okay.
Did you ask them what's the tone about an adjective that could describe the tone of a friendly letter?
No, we didn't get to that yet.
Okay.
But there's just now they just said that the business letter and the friendly letter.
Okay. Okay, guys. So let's look at our objectives again today. So you will be able to 1, define the terms in formal and informal letter. 2, discuss the format of the formal and informal letter. And 3, differentiate between the formal and informal letter. Now, as we said yesterday, like this is an old hat for you students because you all are 12th graders and like this should be old news, right? Like this is something that we would expect grade 10 to like kind of maybe struggle with in terms of answering questions. All right, so prove us right today that we're right. Okay, so before we move on, because we got through the friendly letter, aka the informal letter, but we didn't quite get to the formal letter, also known as the business letter. So refresh me, okay? What is the tone of a friendly letter? What kind of tone? Give me an adjective that would describe the tone of a friendly letter. And you know you can't use, all right. All right, I see Alicia with casual. Anyone else? Anyone else want to confirm or challenge what she has typed there? Come on, don't be shy. Okay, calm. Shanique says calm. Colin says happy, humor. Noy asked what tone or what adjective could be used to describe the tone of an informal letter or a friendly letter. And I'd like for you to use an adjective other than the one I used just now. Okay, affectionate, I guess.
Affection. It depends on the content and with
the degree of it, maybe. Affectionate is kind of strong, but I definitely wouldn't rule it out in a normal letter.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay. But remember, we made a distinction between writing an informal or friendly letter in real life versus writing it in under the constraints and the parameters of an exam. All right. So there are certain limitations. For example, in an informal letter that you write to a family member, an actual one, obviously you would have free reign to say what you want, how you want. But under exam conditions, under classroom conditions, we wouldn't want you using we wouldn't want you using slang and colloquialisms. We want you to use standard English, right? But yeah, okay. I see amiable, optimistic, concerned. Yes, those are, but back to what Alicia said, generally it's casual, right? It's casual. It's informal. It's more laid back than you would, and the writing is more laid back than in a formal letter or business letter. Okay, so that's one key difference between the two. Does anyone remember how many parts the friendly letter has? How many parts? And what are the parts that they have?
Okay, so they say 5.
Okay, I'm seeing 5. I saw 1, 6. All right, but mostly 5s. Okay,
Mostly
those of you that
5.
are saying 5, can you please list the 5 parts of an informal letter before we skedaddle over to the business letter? Okay, I see Aaliyah says heading, greeting, body, closing, signature. Mrs. Toot, our resident expert, is that correct to you?
Yes.
Okay, great.
That is correct.
Good job, guys. Thank all of you for contributing. Ashad, everybody. Yes, heading, greeting, body, closing, signature. Those are our 5 parts. Good job. Okay, and we know that a letter is a form of communication, and historically, it was a very important form of communication. It was the only form of long distance communication for most of human existence. Think about that, right? The telephone was invented in 1876. The internet didn't become a thing until about the early 1990s, right? Even planes and automobiles are relatively new, right? Because mail is carried via boat, via plane, via automobile, and those are still relatively like a steamboat, a motorboat. Those are relatively, well, not a steamboat, but a boat with an outboard motor. You know, those are relatively new things. Before then, people had to either on horseback, chariot, or on foot, like take mail around, right? But guess what? Letters are still important. We talked about that. Does anyone remember why letters are still important, even though you may not have written one ever in your life that wasn't related to school? Why are they still important? How, like, in terms of your future in particular?
Okay, Ashley says for jobs.
Mm.
Gracious says they are important because you may have to carry in resumes to get jobs.
Now, Mr. Stu, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Mhm.
don't a lot of places of employment ask you to submit a cover letter as well? In addition,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, that is
all right.
very true.
So not only will you receive letters, all right, because Mrs. Stu, Mrs. Dennis, and myself, and we work for the government, like we said, and we get letters all the time, all right, from the ministry
Mhm.
or whatever, and there are occasions where you will have to write a letter, okay, and you need to know how to do that for yourself, which is
Yes.
what we're trying to prepare you for here, okay? So we talked about an informal letter and the fact that it is usually written to a friend, family member, or acquaintance. All right, the tone is generally casual. It's we said it's what's another word that starts with F that means like casual, laid back, cool, in terms of like the tone of a friendly letter. Let me see if anyone knows this one. They can get a thumbs up from me. And a word that starts with F. No, for the friendly letter, not formal. If you know someone, they are blank to you. If you know someone, they are blank to you. Hey, that person looks blank to me. I think I know him. Come on, this is a closed passage now. This is, come on. Not friendly, not friendly.
No.
Ah,
Uh, yeah, they're saying familiar.
right. Okay, because guess what? The way you speak to a friend or family member is different from the way you would speak to your boss, the way you should speak to your teacher or administrator, the way you should speak to your people who are your senior, right? Like you don't go trying to like give someone on the bus stops some random man or woman you don't know because like that's you don't know them. But to do that to a friend that you know, that is acceptable. But doing it to a stranger, especially a stranger who is older than you,
Mm-hmm.
it's that's disrespectful. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not okay to be familiar with people to that degree. Okay, now we established this already. Good job, guys. Okay, so we're moving. We're on fire. All right. We also talked about this. Okay, so I don't want us to spend too much time on the friendly letter. Okay, so we have the heading, the salutation or greeting. All right, and in the heading you would put the writer's address and date. Okay, remember how would we start the heading?
Okay, so Alicia's saying that we started with the PO box.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives an example there. N12444.
Okay, very good. All right. And of course, under that, you would put Nassau, Bahamas, and then you'd skip a line and put your date. And the salutation is the greeting is how you begin. We know we say, Dear Mary, dear Margaret. All right. And we know that we should start where? Under the greeting, where should we indent? Where should we begin writing? Who can remember?
Okay, Gracious says underneath the comma.
Underneath the comma? And I don't think
That's a
so.
bit far.
That's a
Yeah.
bit far away.
Aaliyah says under the first letter of the person's first name. Lunelda says under the R. I think she means under the R in Dale.
Okay. The first one was correct. You would start under the first letter of the person's name. So if it's there, Sean, you would start under S in Sean. You wouldn't start under R in there, or you wouldn't start under the comma in there. I mean the comma after Sean. All right. And now the body we said has about 5 paragraphs, but 3 paragraphs, 3 to 5 is fine. The letter shouldn't be terribly long. Not saying letters cannot be long. All right. But for examination purposes, I would say limited to 3 to 5 paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And chances are, okay, that would be sufficient. All right. And then you have your closing. All right. And your signature. And we know at the closing, you simply say what? How do we close with the friendly letter? Or how can we close with the friendly letter?
Okay, so Ashley says your friend, and then there's a comma after friend, and
Good.
your first name.
Good. All right. And Ashley, like that you remembered. Okay. You left off the R, but I know that's a typo because you were trying to get it out. All right. But you have the lowercase f there, so you remember that. That's great. And yes, you only put your first name, not your first and last name. Okay, because this is someone you know, so why would you need to put your first and last name like you're introducing yourself in front of during a business meeting or something? All right. Okay, so good job, guys. So we're going to talk about, are we going to just look briefly at the format here? Very simple. Heading, greeting. All right. Your body. Okay. Your closing, your signature. It's right there. Okay. And on the other slide, we have another example here. All right. PO Box, Nassau NP, the Bahamas. Now, remember, we said the simpler way to go about it is to just put Nassau, Bahamas. That is also acceptable. All right. Skip your line, put your date there, all on the right upper side of the page. Then you come over to the left side, skip a line, put your greeting there, have your body. All right. And in your introduction, you connect with the reader. Hey, how are you? It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm Kyle. What have you been up to? I hope your family is doing well. Well, let me just come out and say why I'm writing you. I'm engaged now, whatever. And the body will go in further engagement. Like I met her when I went to Hawaii. She's loved my life. I want you to be my best man. We need you there, whatever. All right. Okay. And then after that, you conclude by saying, Kyle, I hope you can make it. All right. You and I have been friends forever. It's, and I can't wait to see you. Right. Your friend, or sincerely, Mike. All right. Whatever. Okay. So let's keep going. Now we get to the real deal Holyfield for today. Okay. All right. The formal letter. Now, okay, I hear you, Angel. I will do my best to correct. All right. My simple sentences back to back. Okay. Now, the meat and potatoes of the lesson, today's lesson is the formal letter. Okay. This is our real focus. All right. So I don't want you to mix them up. Okay. Because we were just going over the former. All right. To bring us to the latter, meaning this, where we are right now. All right. So the formal letter is also known as the business letter. Okay. And it serves a multitude of purposes. Like there's so many reasons, so many purposes, all right? So many um reasons, okay? Ways to write a formal letter. Okay? Anyone know any reasons, occasions why you would write a formal letter? Why would you want to write a formal letter? Okay?
Ashley says to complain.
Yes, to complete.
Aaliyah
Yeah.
says to request.
Okay, good.
Jamie says for a job.
So JOB, that's right.
Hmm. And Deborah says to congratulate.
Excellent. Okay. So yeah, in the BJC, and when you were in junior high school, I'm sure your teachers would have covered with you exactly what we're talking about now, like the different um, reasons or the different purposes of formal letter can serve. Okay, to inquire, to congratulate, to invite formal invitation. Okay, to congratulate, like Deborah said, for a job, like Jamie said, Aaliyah said, to request something. Ashley said to complain and complain. Formal letters of complaints are probably among the most common. All right,
Yes.
students love to write. Oh, let's say write a letter of complaint. They can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to say the sentence. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. Or right, they're ready. I won't complain about Wendy's, Mr. Walking, or McDonald's. Yeah, man, because the attitude stink and the food has been right. Yeah, so they don't fare, they don't fare writing that type of letter. Okay, so yes, all right. Now the formal letter is different from the friendly or an informal letter. Okay. Now, does anyone know a key way in which the formal letter or business letter differs from the friendly letter or informal letter? What's one major way that they are different? All right.
Yeah, so Ashley says it has an inside address.
Mm.
Jamie says the salutation is different. Angel
Mm.
says that the tone is different.
Thank you, Angel. Thank all of you, but Angel, especially, I was getting at the tone, right? The tone is different. And yes, the formal letter has an inside address. The informal letter or friendly letter does not. Okay, definitely. It's called a salutation in the formal letter. In the friendly letter or informal letter, it is called a greeting. So how does the tone differ? How does the tone differ from that of an informal letter or a friendly letter? How is it supposed to be different? Give me an adjective to describe that tone. All right.
Alicia says that it's professional.
All right.
Ashley says it's more serious.
Mm-hmm. Serious, professional. I like what I'm saying. Yes. Okay. Yes, it's definitely more professional, more serious. So you will watch what you say. Okay. You can't get crazy. Like you can't like an informal letter is much more relaxed. All right. The language is, you can relax the language a little bit, but in the formal letter, there's no room for relaxation. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't even have contractions. If, as far as I'm concerned, you shouldn't even have contractions in a formal letter, like don't,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Or can't.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, it's different. All right. So moving on. Okay. Now, how many parts does a business letter have? Let's see who gets the thumbs up now. All right. Oh yeah, and the envelope too. Right. Okay.
Okay, that was fast. Aaliyah says 6. Jamie 6. Nunelda says 7. I'm seeing 6 majority.
All right. Looks like the sixes have it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for sure, but I guess we'll see. All right. Okay, boom. Aaliyah says 7 if you count the envelope.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yes. Okay, but in terms of the letter itself, there are 6 parts. Can anyone list them?
Okay, so we have the heading. Jamie says the heading, the inside address, salutation. Alicia says signature. So we have heading, inside address, greeting, body, closing, signature from Aaliyah and Deborah as
Wow.
well.
Wow, very good. Aaliyah and Deborah. Okay, good job. Okay, so yes. All right. We have our heading, inside address, greeting, body, closing, signature. Those are our 6 main components. All right. Okay, so right. Parts of the business letter. Okay, the heading, the writer's address and date, just like in the informal letter. All right, that's the same. Inside address, receiver's name, job, title, place of work, and address. And boy, all right, I have something to share with you guys about that. All right, 3, the salutation or greeting. Okay, 4, the body, 3 paragraphs. Now, the friendly letter, because Mrs. Stu, if memory serves, on the BJC, you have an option of doing a friendly letter, and they give you 300 words to do that.
The friendly letter is an option
Right.
sometimes with the composition,
But the informal letter is still
but the
limited.
informal is mandatory.
But exactly, and it's limited to 100 words, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your body doesn't, guys, with the formal letter, the goal is to get to the point.
Yeah.
If you have multiple points, get to them quickly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the body, about 3 paragraphs, and then the closing. All right. And now the closing, you have to approach that in a certain way. Now, how do you close out a formal letter, and how do you sign a formal letter? All right, that indicates that that shows that it's different from an informal letter.
Okay, so Tyron says sincerely and then your name.
Okay, sincerely, comma, then your name. Ashad says first and last name, good. Sincerely, comma, first and last name. Excellent, guys. All right. Okay, format of the business letter. Okay, so we have the writer's address and the date. Okay. Receiver's name and address. Inside address. All right. And notice that we start with, when we're writing to a Knowles, but we don't just say Jack Knowles or Myron Knowles. We say Mr. Knowles because the tone is formal. All right. Even if you know the person's first name, you don't dare start by saying dear Jack. You say Mr. Okay. So salutation, your body, complimentary closing, and your signature with your first and last name. All right, Sarah Williams, Sarah Lee, Stanley, all right, whatever. Okay, so let's look at this now. All right, this is the structure of the business letter. And guys, let me teach you this little trick, right? For the inside address, because the inside address, I realize, is what students struggle with remembering the most. And just because you are in 12th grade does not mean you may not be required to write a formal letter, because chances are for the BGCSE next year, okay, if everything goes according to plan, if they have one, there's a possibility you could be required to write a formal letter. And you need to know the inside address because every mark counts. All right. So for the inside address, because I know we've given end of term exams, and you know where you had to you ask student to write a formal letter, and like they don't need, some students begin with "dear." They don't even have the heading, the date. They don't have the inside address, nothing. They just say "dear," or you know. So we don't want that. Now the inside address, yes, it is a lot. It's kind of a lot to remember, but hopefully this acronym will help you. Now the
Yes.
acronym I use is NPPPN or NPPPN. Okay. Now the first N stands for name. Okay, because you're going to be writing the full name and the title and name of the person. So if it's a woman who's married, it would be mistress. If it's an unmarried woman, it would be miss. If it's a married or unmarried man, it would be Mr. First and last name. Okay? First and last name. So name, N for name, then P for position. Okay, so if his position is teacher, trained teacher, vice principal, principal, manager, general manager, CEO, CFO, okay, whatever the person's position is, you would put that under their name. Okay. Then the place. All right. Is it Kelly's? Is it Wendy's International? Is it Beat with the Bahamas Telecommunications Company? All right. Is it Cable Bahamas? All right. So you have name, position, place. So we're on our second P. So NPP. Now we need to get to the third P, which is just our PO box. All right. And then after that, N would be for Nassau, comma, Bahamas. So NPPPN, 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 name, position, place, PO box, Nassau, Bahamas. And that's the inside address right there. Okay? NPPPN. All right, and you remember those? Now the only trick may be, the tricky part may be like remembering what should be in what order. But you know it's name, position, place, PO box, Nassau, NP. Now obviously it makes more sense to put the person, the name of the person, right, the position right after their name, then the place. And that makes, I mean, it makes sense to me. All right, which is why we probably do it that way. Okay. All right, so these are parts, heading, inside address, greeting. Thank you so much, Mrs. Two.
You're
Body,
welcome.
and we have the complimentary closing and signature. And notice that just like with the informal letter, the heading and date are on the far right-hand side of the page, upper right side of the page, and the complimentary closing and signature should line up with the heading. Okay, and you should skip a line after the heading, the address in the heading. Skip a line for the date. Come over to the left-hand side of the page. Skip another line for your inside address. All right, skip another line after the inside address to begin your letter. There, Mr. Smith. Start your letter under mistress. All right, begin writing under mistress. And then after you end, skip another line. Then you come back over to the right-hand side of the page. And then you have your complimentary closing, sincerely, comma, John Thomas, Jane Doe, John Doe. All right. All right. So this is the envelope, which is also a crucial part of the letter. All right. Now we on the left hand, sorry, on the right hand side of the envelope, you put the stamp. That's where the stamp goes. Now, what else is supposed to go on this envelope, guys? Help me out.
Okay, Alicia says the inside address. Gracious is saying name, address, and PO box. Tishanda says your full name and address. Shania says receiver's address.
Okay. So yeah, Jane Bow, P.O. Box. All right. Notice that your information, all right, goes in the upper left corner. Jane Bow, P.O. Box, Nassau, NP, the Bahamas. And the person who is going to receive your letter, the information goes right smack, almost smack dab in the middle, but not quite. Right, Mrs. Two?
Yes, underneath the, just not on the same line, and it shouldn't line up with that sender's address. Okay, so it has to
Okay.
be underneath that. We need to see a clear separation between sender's address and receiver's address.
Okay, so the sender's address, your address, receiver's address, right here. Okay, and that is all she wrote. Okay, so Mrs. All right, let me see if I can pull up.
Yes, we have those questions. Review questions.
Okay, great. Yeah, we can
Let,
use them then.
let me try and pull that up.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to put it in the chat or you can just read it out?
I
I'll
guess.
send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Are you sending it to me like
I'll send it
in the
on.
Teams? Or like,
I just sent it. Check it.
all right, you sent it to me. That was it.
Yeah, your phone. Check your phone.
Okay, okay, great. All right. All right, guys. So some review questions. Okay. So first question, you can put your answers in the chat. Right? What are the two main types of letters?
Okay, so first answer I'm seeing here, friendly and business. Informal and formal.
Okay, good,
Very
good.
good.
All right. What is the purpose of writing a letter? Good job, guys. What is the purpose of writing a letter? Why would we
You
write a
can
letter?
still send those answers in because we're going to be looking at it to see who's participating so that you can get your participation points.
Okay.
So Tyrannique says to communicate. That's the first answer I see.
I think Alicia also said to communicate.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, yes. To communicate with others, to reach out to a loved one, Peron. Good. Good, guys. Communication. Okay. All right. 3. A personal letter and a formal letter each have a different purpose and a different blank.
Tone. Alicia says tone. Tone. I'm saying tone.
All right. Awesome. Yes, that is correct. All right. Okay. So 4. How many parts are there in an informal letter? How many parts are there in an informal letter?
Okay. I'm saying 5. 5, 5, 5. Very good.
Excellent. Okay. A professional tone belongs in a formal letter. Is this true or false? A professional tone belongs in a formal letter. Is this true or false?
Okay. I'm saying true. Aaliyah, Gracious Cato, Tyrannique, Richmond, Deshanda, Jamie. Very good. True, true, true.
Okay. What part of a formal letter comes after the heading? What part of a formal letter comes after the heading?
Aaliyah says inside address. Deborah says the inside address.
Okay, great. Okay, that is correct.
Very good.
Okay, 7, write one closing that can be used in an informal letter. Write one closing that can be used in an informal letter.
Aaliyah says, your friend, comma, I see yours truly, Shania. Jamie says, your friend. Richmond, yours truly. Felicity says, sincerely gracious, your friend. John
Okay.
Wick.
Someone said John Wick.
Yes.
All right. Number 8. When writing the salutation in a formal letter, what comes after the person's name? Because I don't think I mentioned that, guys. Oops, I dropped the ball there. But let's see who knows.
Okay, Alicia says, comma, yeah, comma. Deborah says, a colon.
Yes.
Alicia says, semicolon. Oh, plenty
Let's
varying answers.
yeah, that's because I did not take the time to point that out. All right, so we're going to go back and we're going to take a look at that, guys, because I want us to be clear as crystal, okay, as to how that should be done. Okay, if you look at it now, all right, you will see with the greeting there, I'm going to make that bigger where it says, "Dear Mrs. Smith." What do you see after Smith? What is that? What is that comes after the name Smith? Yes. So yes, the formal letter after the salutation, there should be a colon, not a semicolon, not a comma, a colon. Okay. Number 9. Okay. Give the order in which a receiver's address should be written. Give the order in which a receiver's address should be written.
Okay, Alicia says, NPPPN, yes. Name, position. Aaliyah saying name, position, place, P.O. Box, Nassau, Bahamas.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, N triple P N or N P P P N. Okay. All right. I'll just ask maybe 1 or 2 more. Okay. What are 3 reasons you might want to write a formal or business letter? 3 reasons. 3 reasons. And please note that Mrs. Toot put the attendance link in the group.
Yes, right. I will copy it again once you're done.
No, I have it because I actually had it raring to go.
Okay.
I had it raring to go just now.
Yeah, because I saw some started to leave the chat. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so they're saying to request, application, complain, congratulate.
Okay.
To thank you letter, gracious saying, very good.
All right, all right. Okay. If you are writing a letter to your teacher, what type of letter should you write? Should it be an informal letter or a formal letter?
Okay, so they're saying formal.
Yes. Okay.
Trevor says informal.
Not informal because if you write your teacher a letter, you have to call them. You have to use a certain title.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that right there should clue you in that if you're writing a letter to your teacher, even if it's to say hello, I think there should be some formality there.
Right.
Right. But and in most cases, if you write your teacher a letter, it's for some formal purpose. It's for some formal purpose anyway. All right.
Mhm.
So okay, guys, that is it.